Hi, welcome back to this week's strategy session. It's still the summer, so we still thankfully have great interns. Meet Liz. Say hello, Liz. Liz Walker. How are you?
Good.
What are you working on?
Just stuffing envelopes.
Great. Well, thank you. Thank you so much for your help. See you later. Okay, let's head back and see what they've drawn up on the whiteboard for me today. Let's go see. Hello, Chad. How you doing? Is Chad back there? How we doing? Hello, William. Let's see. Whiteboard. So I guess what we're talking about today is a contrast between Rick Lazio and Andrew Cuomo. And what we're talking about Rick Lazio is competence and how important it is to have a competent governor. And the most important thing that it shows this in the last couple of weeks is the Ground Zero Mosque. You all know the issue, whether or not to allow the mosque built by the Cordoba initiative to be built a few blocks from Ground Zero. Now, some people have said that this is an issue of religious freedom. It's not an issue about religious freedom. It's an issue about safety and whether New Yorkers should be and feel safe. The imam who wants to build this mosque has said some incredibly incendiary things. He has basically blamed the United States for 9/11. Shocking thing he said about it. He has also refused to call Hamas a terrorist organization and has had some role with the group that was trying to run the blockade of Gaza off the coast of Israel. He's a questionable figure, and what Rick has said is, I want to know where the money's coming from. A reasonable question, particularly in light of the fact that this Cordoba initiative has about $18,000 in its latest filing with the IRS. So it begs the question, where did the almost $5 million come from to purchase the property where the mosque is going to be built? What was this real estate group that purchased this, and who are the partners in it? And secondly, where is the $100 million going to come from to build this mosque when this group has had no success in raising money in the past? It's a question that deserves to be answered, and a person who can answer it is Andrew Cuomo. And a competent governor would demand answers and would require them and request them of the Attorney General who oversees charities. And interestingly enough, Andrew Cuomo could end this whole controversy by actually doing his job and looking into the funding from this mosque. So it's confusing as to why he wouldn't. It's an issue of safety for New Yorkers. New Yorkers want to feel safe and they want to be safe. And our phones have been ringing off the hook about this issue. We're getting unbelievable amount of calls and emails and Facebook postings and tweeterings, I call them tweeterings, about this issue, and it's really captured the attention of New Yorkers and people around the country. And if you want to join and help us fight the mosque, please go to standupforny.com and join our petition and help us bring competent management to government so things like the mosque won't be built, this mosque won't be built. Now, on the other side of the ledger, we're talking about Andrew Cuomo. And the interesting this week is he went on his RV tour, which is bizarre for a number of reasons. First of all, the fact that it's in an RV is weird. I mean, he's been Attorney General for 4 years, and he's been holed up in his proverbial castle, and he finally decided to come down, and you can imagine the scene. He came to what would be like his archduke and said, I don't want to go out and see the peasants, get my chariot ready to go. And someone must have said, but sire, the chariot is not the vehicle of choice these days. So he's like, fine, get me my donkey. Let's go ride out on the donkey. And he's riding around in his RV, and that's supposed to connect him to the people. Well, Mr. Attorney General, the people of New York State are struggling, and no one's cruising around in an RV. It's kind of a weird thing to be doing, but that's just my opinion. And the other interesting thing to ask about this RV tour is Chuck Schumer every year travels to all 62 counties in the state. Andrew Cuomo's been Attorney General, as I said, for 4 years. Has he been to all 62 counties? I don't know. I would presume, I hope he would be. You figure he'd at least be to 3/4 of them or something like that. So it'd be an interesting question for someone to ask is how many of them he's been to, because it would be bizarre if he hadn't been to all of them. And the other interesting point of this RV tour is they're calling it the New York tour, but I mean, who are you kidding? Andrew Cuomo is old New York. He represents old New York. He comes from moneyed privilege. You can see the money spilling out of the RV. That represents all the special interest money he's taken, while the taxpayer is the one being driven towards the cliff. So the whole RV thing is strange to me, but those are just a few of the things that we're thinking about this week over in Lazio land, and we hope to see you back here next week. Go to lazio.com and or standupforny.com and help us bring competent management to government once again. Thank you.